Okay, good morning and welcome to beautiful downtown Cape Town in the VA waterfront. I got a smile on my face because that US Coast Guard registration number came in this morning. So we're furiously getting everything ready because we want to set sail tomorrow. I want to throw this little intro in before this episode you're about to see because it's going to be confusing. This was supposed to be episode 3 where I did the factory tour at the Phoenix Marine where the Exquisite X5 is built. It talks about things that happened before that I never got around to editing those episodes yet. This episode was important for Phoenix Marine to give to their suppliers and stuff, so they wanted this one done first, so I edited it first so it's out of sequence. Didn't want you to be confused when you see this intro that talks about things that you haven't seen yet. I haven't forgot about those episodes. They will be coming, and enjoy the view. Wish us well because we set sail tomorrow.
Hi, this is Craig and welcome back to Cruising Off Duty. If you've been watching the channel, you know I left my home in Ottawa, left my beautiful wife behind, shoehorned myself into an economy seat on a plane for 26 hours where I had somebody sleeping on me, and then landed in Cape Town, South Africa. Why, you might ask? Well, I got to check out Cape Hope, which is the most southwestern part, and almost got blown off this cliff. Got to see some beautiful views. Got to check out some penguins for the first time. Yes, I live in Canada where it's really, really cold, but they don't have penguins, so this is my first time. And before you start thinking it's really cold in South Africa, that is a monkey on the sign, and yes, that is a monkey going by our car, so clearly not that cold. And of course, I couldn't come to Cape Town without taking the gondola to the top of Table Mountain and stand there like I'm king of the world. What of you? Well, you might be thinking, did you really get on a plane for 26 hours to be a tourist all by yourself in Cape Town? Of course not. I came to Cape Town to get on an Exquisite X5. That's a 50-foot catamaran that I'm going to go from Cape Town, South Africa, through the South Atlantic, across the equator for the very first time, through the Caribbean, and finally to the United States. This 10,000-mile sailing voyage is going to be epic, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of those upcoming episodes. A special shout out to my patrons that have been around since the beginning of the channel. Love you guys. I also have some sponsors for this voyage that made it possible for me to fly halfway around the world to go sailing. Thanks a ton. Now in this episode, we're going to go to Phoenix Marine, which is where the Exquisite X5 is built. If I'm going to cross oceans on a boat, I kind of want to know that it's top quality because I have this little thing about not wanting to die. And yeah, after this factory tour, all my fears or concerns are gone. The level of detail and quality that goes in every stage of this boat is just mind-blowing to me. If I could afford this boat, now just so you know, it's a $1.3 million boat, because I know people are going to want to know. If I could afford that, which I can't, but if I could afford that, this would be the #1 boat on my list. Check out this factory tour if you're interested and see for yourself.
We anchor and hoist the sail.
Okay, here we are, day 3 in Cape Town, and we drove a little ways outside of town to come to the Phoenix Marine factory where we're going to get a tour of where they build the Exquisite X5 and interview the key staff that got into designing it and everything else that makes that such a great boat. So stay tuned. Okay, today we're here at the Phoenix Marine factory. We're going to take a tour right after this of the factory that builds the Exquisite X5. These are the key members in the building process, and I want everybody to give a chance to say who they are and what they do here at Phoenix Marine.
Okay, I'm Denzel Julius, production manager at Phoenix Catamarans, Phoenix Marine. So that's my job, to see that everything runs smoothly and everything runs according to build hours and on time. That's my job.
My name is Thomas Hammer and I'm the owner of Exquisite Yachts, the brand of the boats that Phoenix Marine and this wonderful team builds for us.
Okay, I'm Rudolf Jonker. I'm the designer of the X5. That's basically my role.
All right, I'm Clinton Johns. I'm the owner of Phoenix Marine and very proud to manufacture the Exquisite X5 for Exquisite Yachts.
Let's just explain the backstory with how Exquisite came about.
Okay, so I try to keep it as short as possible. The story is that the Rudolf designed this boat originally, the original version of it for Dean Catamarans back, and we were one of the clients. We ordered the boat in 2012. Now, unfortunately, Dean Cats went out of business that year, so they couldn't finish my boat. And my wife and I, we had to move here to Cape Town and finish the boat ourselves, which was quite an undertaking. And after that, when the boat was completed, we left Cape Town and we sailed the boat across the Atlantic to the Caribbean. We started a very successful charter business with the boat in the Caribbean. And we figured out that everybody just loved the shape of the boat, the look at it, and everybody was really, really asking us that, what is this boat, where is it made? And we, after a while, we just realized that this is just amazing, and we love the boat so much that we were passionate about it and wanted to continue this when Dean unfortunately didn't exist anymore. So obviously we contacted Rudolf, who's the designer of the boat, and started to make plans that how could we make this rebirth of this whole thing, the whole project. And that's where Clinton came in the picture as well. That Clinton is a composite expert as well as a supplier of lots of materials for other boat builders. So he's in the industry for a long time, the decades of experience. So somehow we got this team together, and that's how we restarted the project, or started a new project, I would say better, because that's where it comes. What's the difference between restart and starting a new project? So I better explain that way that we sailed that boat over 30,000 miles. This was our third boat over the 10 years worldwide cruising. And 30,000 miles on this one boat, we had a long list going. What could be improved? What's working very well with this original design? And some stuff was really great, and the shape was amazing. But there were some things that needed improvements. So when we sit down with Rudolf and Clinton, and we started to go through and brainstorming that how could this boat made be better, we got to the level that we discarded the original molds and everything. So we said, let's just start with a clean slate and just make it a new boat from scratch.
Right.
And that's how really the team comes in, because Rudolph's then redesigned the whole thing, and we started to build new molds from scratch. And then from there, these guys are really who put into the effort, because it was 2 years just this development and tooling.
Yeah, so I mean, I sat down with Thomas. He gave me a whole list of all the stuff that did work on the boat, what he would like changed, what all the add-ons. So yeah, I spent a lot of time redesigning. We redesigned the underneath waterline, various things to make the boat more user-friendly. The whole cockpit area was redesigned. But the important stuff that really worked on the boat, we kept all of that, and just on some of it we improved.
Right.
And yeah, we casted new molds. There's over 120 sub-moldings that goes in the boat. So the boat was more aimed again at production and not custom boats, although there's a certain amount of customization that we can do, but to get the numbers and make the boat more consistent, we opted to go for sub-moldings. So all your modules inside the boat is all modules that makes the boat much easier to build and much more, your quality is consistent.
Yeah. And then you got in touch with Clinton.
Yeah. So
he's
Clinton,
in charge of Phoenix Marine, the builder.
I was pretty much the super glue. They were sort of trying to put everything together from a business sense. So we came up with the name Phoenix Marine, rising from the ashes.
Right.
Pretty much I didn't realize, because I come from a composite sort of material supplier point of view. So I sort of jumped the fence to the other side, which was the boat building side, and it was a huge learning curve of retooling up from scratch and continuous improvement, and looking at systems and looking at sort of existing boat yards and worldwide, and looking at how we could actually improve the processes, the sub-moldings, the experiences of other boat yards, both in South Africa and internationally. And we pretty much hopefully have pulled it off, and the bird's flying.
And you guys have made improvements, as the models go along. I mean, you've made drastic improvements from 1 all the way to where I'm about to sail on hull 9, right?
Correct.
So things have changed even from hull 1 quite a bit too. So you guys are constantly.
I mean, obviously, as soon as you find that there's a little issue or something that you can improve, we jump on the opportunity to improve the boat. Mm-hmm. I mean, we strive to build the best boat, so it's a never-ending story.
And you're kind of a custom builder, because Sean, I know, asked for extended roofs for more solar, and you accommodated that.
Yeah. So I mean, so we don't just purely go on. It's a production boat. We're not that strict. I mean, obviously, you've got to have some restrictions because it's still a production yard. Right. But yes, we are flexible too.
That's awesome. Great. Okay, Tomas, this boat company's been around for about 5 years, but it's really taken off. I mean, there's been a lot of interest. I know on my channel, your walkthrough tour is still getting hundreds and hundreds of views a day. Mm-hmm. Very popular boat. But what's the secret? What do you think makes Exquisite different?
I think what really differentiates us, this is an extremely competitive business. There are some good boats out there as well from the competitors, and it's really hard to be successful as well as keep that success in the long run. So I think that our success originates from a really good cooperation between Phoenix and Exquisite. So whenever we have any new ideas or any requests or customization and all that, and from the very beginning, when we were designing, or Rudolf was designing the X5, we work so well together. So whenever any ideas comes up, he makes that happen. He makes that real, you know, that just comes up and he talk about it. A few weeks later, he has the 3D models and he just designed the whole thing. And our experience is not just purely as a business or only boat building. It comes with my wife and I cruising experience. So 10 years living on board, sailing around the world on different boats, and that added knowledge added to Rudolf's talent as a brilliant designer adds up for the base, I think, of the success. The other thing I think to make successful of a brand or a boat is obviously that has to be top quality build. Now this is what you will see in the factory tour, the several layers of quality control that goes into this boat. We're really trying to build the best boat out in the market, but by itself is not enough. The second layer that you have to do is the long run with boats is the after sales service. We focus on after sales service totally unmatched in the industry. So we're taking care of our boats, not just when we hand over to the clients, but we're trying to do this on the lifetime of every boat.
Right.
Now, by itself, still, this is nice and great, but you have to make it a sustainable business on the long run to be successful and be there in 5 years and 10 years from now. Mm-hmm. Now, the way to do that really is to make the production line efficient. And the only real way to do that, which is quite unique what we're doing here, really only yard and brand that has a production line that doesn't have fluctuation up and down depending on orders. We run a production line at maximum peak efficiency, building the 4 boats per year, independently if that boat is even sold or not sold. We still self-finance the production line. This way, we have the best artisans. Some factories, you know, when they don't have an order that moment, they lose their key stuff. So it's hard to get them back. In our case, it's totally different. We run it an efficient production line, which works well. And then the other thing that we don't use an international dealer network. All that the efficient production plus the dealer network, such an additional cost for boat yards that we can take it out of the equation, and all that money goes in to build a better boat. So that's where we can do that. That the X5 takes about 3 times as many hours to build as some of the competitors' boats. And still doesn't cost more than that. And the reason being because all that extra money goes into production and quality.
I saw the pictures and the transitions of stages on the wall. So you guys put about 36,000 hours, is that right?
These
I
are
think
the
that's a lot. That's a lot.
We started off with 36, we roughly now at 34,000 hours, but you must keep in mind that we don't outsource anything.
Right.
Everything gets custom made inside the factory, like our Corian tops gets made inside the factory, all our vinyl work gets done inside the factory, joinery shop work, everything is inside, everything is in-house.
That's great.
So that's why ours looks like it succeeds all the other our competitors, but if keep everything under one umbrella, it's best to control.
And it's easy to, quality control is easy.
Quality control is easy because we're doing it in-house.
You're not getting something that you drop in at the end and you're not sure the quality's there. Awesome. That's great.
Yeah, I think what Denzel elaborated to is effectively the concept of flexible manufacturing. So that's why we sort of try and include it all in-house.
Right.
It gives us that flexibility that in the future that somebody wanted a different kind of vinyl finish or different Corian top or different kind of finishes, we can sort of, without too much production changes, we can still be.
You don't need to find another subcontractor to build it a different way for you.
With a different quality sort of consistency. So
yeah, that's awesome. So this is going to be like the longest test sail ever, this channel. It's 8 weeks we're going to be sailing this boat, and we're going to get to know this boat intimately. I thank you all for the interview. It's a great boat from what I've seen, and now I'm going to get a chance to sail it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nobody.
Okay, we have Denzel and Rudolf. You are the production manager, and you share roles as factory manager with Rudolf.
Yes.
You're both going to give us a tour showing us the Exquisite from the most basics all the way to the most advanced where it's almost out the door.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, now as you can see, that's the mold for the hull. And currently we're going to start boat number 14 out of there now, although there's number 12 on it. Number 12 is standing on that side, just demolded 2 days ago. This is where everything starts. Open mold, Small molds, as you can see, the lady's busy with 120
120
small molds that we all just put together. So it's all just a whole big jigsaw puzzle.
Okay.
That everything starts here, where the resins gets issued from the stores, gel coat, clean the mold, gel coat, and then we start laying up.
Okay.
And this whole process takes 5 weeks.
5 weeks
Yeah.
to get to that stage right there.
No, just
To the very end.
to get to that stage there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's excluding bulkheads, because we like putting the bulkheads inside the mold just to keep the shape.
Okay.
That's it.
Alright.
Okay, then we're going to move on to the deck. As you can see, there's currently a deck inside there. We have currently a deck inside that's going to get demolded in 2 days time.
Okay.
So in 2 days time we will take that deck out, turn it around, and then it will go on to number 12. So that is 12's deck. Number 12 is currently in week 8. We call it in week numbers, week 8,
Okay.
number 12. And it's currently in the molding shop stage, where that's where we put all the loose moldings that we construct there. We start putting it in on that and the stage
Okay.
before the deck goes on.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can just maybe add in there. So we've got in all the different stages, we've got what we call holding points.
Yeah.
So as soon as the hull is finished and the bulkheads goes in, there's a whole checklist.
Like a quality control.
Yeah,
Quality
there's
control
quality
check, so
control
to make
stage.
sure that everything, all the stuff is, the bulkheads in the right position, everything's done before it gets demolded and moves to the next stage. Exactly the same with the deck. So as soon as the deck is finished, the laminate gets checked, the frame goes on, and before it gets turned, there's a whole quality checklist that's got to get done, because you can imagine if this
You
frame
can't
is
get
not
access to this again once you've covered it, eh?
Yeah.
that's the thing, and the thing is, you can imagine if this frame is not attached to the deck properly, you can lose the whole deck. So there's a lot of things that gets checked. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Each
Okay,
stage.
good quality.
Another thing that gets checked is the weights. We're very much over our weights of the boat. If the boat gets demolded, immediately the weight gets taken with the bulkheads, and then when the deck gets molded, the deck gets weighed. And when the both gets put together, as I will take you there now, then it gets weighed again after that. So we're very much looking at our weight to get our weight
Make sure it's balanced.
Balanced,
Make sure
yeah.
it's within specs.
within
Yeah.
stages.
Awesome.
Like I said, this is now in week 8. This is primary assembly 1, stage primary assembly 1. We're going to move to primary assembly stage 2 now.
Okay.
I'll take you guys.
Yeah, just adding to what Denzel and Rudolf sort of said about the composite sort of side is over here we had a sort of analysis of the boat from a composite structure point of view to try and optimize the laminates. So in each particular area we have a different laminate schedule to reinforce it according to different colors, and that's essentially like a finite element analysis on the deck, and pretty much the same as the hull. These particular designs were done in Sweden, and it was particularly for resin infusion.
Okay.
So it's all the optimization is already there for futuristic sort of weight optimization.
Weight optimization.
And
Excellent.
obviously the schedule then goes through to the cutting list, to the resin to weight ratio, to ensure that you get a good weight out, and obviously ensure that your strength is optimized.
That's great. Well, thanks for adding that.
Okay, we're standing here now at the primary assembly 2, where the target wing gets prepped, and we always do all our prep work and all our painting before the product goes up. It just makes life much easier. I'm taking you guys to the border to show you the check sheets and everything as it went through the line, boat number 11. This is their board. This is just the assembly that visually they can see exactly if they're on a certain week, on week 18, they can exactly see how the boat ship is supposed to look. As you can see, the deck is supposed to go on, and they're busy with deck bonding now currently. Right? This is our manufacturing file, and as I mentioned, we very much over weights of components. So every single weight gets listed in this file. Every single weight, every single component that we install gets weighed to see what logistically what material we use compares to what the weight is of the product. The molding shop has got the check sheets. That is for the hull. Starting date signed off by the team leader, then checked by the HOD, and then there's the holding points on certain items, critical points that the QC needs to sign off. Otherwise, the boat doesn't move on.
And this checkoff process happens at multiple stages
At
along
multiple
the way.
stages. That's just the one outer that I just showed you now. Then you still get the bridge deck, the port side outer, and then you still get the deck check sheets. It's all in here. Then we have toolbox talks, just general toolbox talks on housekeeping and on safety, because it's critical for a production line like this to have these kind of systems in place with safety and housekeeping is in. That is our workstation 2.
Great.
Primary assembly. I'm going to take you guys to the final assembly workstation now, where it's a little bit more in depth, where the final stages, final things goes inside the boat. Okay, here we are at the final assembly stage of our whole trip now, of our tour, and this is where all the furniture gets installed, all the final detail of the boat gets put in here. This is where the water tank, stainless steel, electrical work, all plumbing gets done on this stage. We're currently busy with creating another workstation to eliminate our electricians and our plumbers off this workstation. So we have them completely separate, but currently this is how the setup is in the factory. That's
Well, hold on. That's the alarm to bring them back from lunch.
Yeah.
Just want to explain what that was. It wasn't a fire alarm.
okay. And that is when we have 5 boats in the line. That's what Thomas will wish for.
Yeah, five at all times.
Okay, here we have an engine installation, and this engine gets installed in workstation, in primary assembly 2 already. All the fitment gets done inside here. Sound seal gets done beforehand. Like I said, we're currently busy with all the plumbing and the pipe routing and the electrical work inside this. This is now where the tall homing is on. This boat does get an extension like Sean.
Oh,
Sean
it does?
has. Yeah, it does get an extension. It's in the mold.
So a lot of people are opting for that, right?
A lot
Once
of
they
people
found
is
out
a
about
lot of people is opting for Sean's version now.
Yeah. So they say this roof, this is the way the mold was originally designed, but
Yeah.
we're adding
And
the extension.
Then it gets the extension.
Yeah, and the design for the extension was made in such a way that you can actually do a retrofit as well.
Oh,
So, yeah.
so an existing X5 owner could
Can get
opt
it
to
done.
come back and have another extension.
transporting it to another country, that's a bit of a more of a problem.
Yeah.
But yes, it's possible.
There we go.
So yeah.
And that
This-
allows for extra solar space, right? That's the main key
Double it
feature.
up.
Yeah.
double it up. This is also a new addition. We're using studs now, and not anymore Velcro. Not Velcro, Duloc.
Yeah.
We used to use Duloc, and so this is an upgrade that we started doing from Sean's, not Sean, the extension on Sean's boat. So yeah, it's. As you can see, this boat still has 8 weeks to go. 8 weeks to go. So electrical work, plumbing work is busy going in. As you can see, the boat looks all wired up, and steering is already installed. Piping for all electrical conduiting, all wires gets installed behind the TCT in the nav station. So this is the final assembly stage where these things happen.
It's out on the table. We kind of walked by it, but off camera we were talking about how you put glass in here, not acrylic. Right?
Yeah.
The reason we use glass and not acrylic is if you look at the size of the hull windows or the saloon windows itself.
Yeah.
Acrylic has got a lot of expansion and contraction, and that normally is problematic with leaks on windows and also scratches, where your glass is much more resilient. It doesn't scratch. It protects the bonding of the glass as well, or the window better, because the windows are laminated glass, not toughened glass. So the laminated glass has got a layer in between, a PVB, that takes out 98% of UV. So it also protects all your furniture, everything.
Keeps it cooler inside.
Keeps it cooler.
So I'll film that table outside to show the glass, but I just wanted to mention it while we have all these openings. It's going to be beautiful, dark, tinted glass.
Yeah.
And as well, I mean, if you look at the boat, you can see we earlier spoke about all the modules. So all the flooring, if you look at the bottom, you'll see all the pump modules. Everything is fiberglass modules, so it gives you the consistency, but everything gets covered. So although it's plastic, it still gets covered with wood, vinyl, so it's not a plastic boat.
There you go.
This is the heads, the starboard side heads, and this is the owner's heads. In front we have the holding tank, and then we have a washing machine. We have a shower, and then here we have a double bowl basin that we do it ourselves. We have mirrors, shower, seats, and here we have a walk-in closet. We use standing
Yeah,
there
where I'm
now.
standing is actually the
it's
walk-in
a walk-in
closet.
closet. But behind there we have all our wiring running behind that walking closet, and then we have the season that sits there. We have the aircon unit, the charge master. Sorry, the charge master sits on that side.
You've seen the wiring on the boats at the shows and at this one here. Whoever's doing the wiring is an unbelievable job.
And the thing is, this is also very important to be able to get to all the systems.
Yeah.
So you can see access to this is totally accessible, and it's done in such a way that maintenance on the boat
Makes it easy.
Everything is labeled. It's easy to find.
Everything is labeled, easy to find.
Okay. Just wanted to say that because I've been really impressed with the wiring.
This is the owner's cabin, and it's like Rudolf said, everything has got backs on. All the units that goes in here, it's just got backs, so it's easy to access anything behind there. Season panels goes in there, in here. You've got an aircon unit in here, and then aircon unit in there.
Okay.
Everything is accessible. If you want to get to any wiring, any bolts, you can take over page.
Right.
There's nothing closed up where you can't get to anything. Nothing.
See, that's
for the winch.
Oh, okay.
so all
backing plate.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought I said vacuum plate.
No, sorry.
Backing.
Yeah, so I mean, all deck equipment gets backing plates to to make it much stronger.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can see that they're installing that now
heavy
for
duty.
the mine winches. And then all our stainless steel is laser cut. So again, all furniture is done with CNC, stainless steel with laser cut. So we use computer technology in a great way
To make sure everything's
sure it
exact
fits,
to the millimeter. Yeah.
And all the boats gets built according to ISO spec. All the boats.
Yeah.
All the ISO system,
Yeah.
we implemented on every single vessel that we build.
Good.
So that's why we have all the checks in place. And we get audited, as a company, we get audited every single year. We get audited to see that we live up to that and work to the ISO 9000. So, yeah. This is my fabricator. As like I said in the previous interview, for the previous snap, that we do all everything in-house. This is the basins, as you can see here. This is the 2 port basins. This is the starboard side double bowl basin.
All made in-house.
All made in-house.
Yeah.
We don't like sourcing anything out because quality, we check all quality right here. If anything is done, how can I say, to poor quality, we fix. That's it. And it's very seldom that it gets done in poor quality.
Well, because the same person's been doing the same job.
He's been,
day in, day
same
out.
person been doing the same thing at the same job. All the furniture gets QC'd here, gets stacked. All the furniture gets QC'd here. Comes from the spray booth, gets double checked right here before it goes to the boat. All this furniture is boat number 10s.
It's all boat number 10.
Boat number
All
10,
this stuff.
all this stuff is boat number 10 furniture. Ready to go in. Then just for weight purposes,
Oh yeah, this is
we
important.
all our furniture is foam core.
Foam core.
Yeah, it's foam core. So it comes from Liebenberg.
Right.
So all our furniture is very
And
light.
it's real wood. This is real wood.
Real
on
wood.
the, yeah.
And
That's good. Oh, you can see it over here too.
in-house. We believe in all in-house and everything to detail. We do our own steps. We do our own bunk tops. Everything. We have our own press. We press our own board. When we want to do bunk tops, we do everything ourselves.
That's impressive.
That's it.
Good job. Nice.
We lighter weight boats than normal.
Mhm.
This is the plumbing section, and these tanks here is boat number 10 stacks has already been pressure tested.
Okay.
We do all our pressure testing, all quality gets checked here before the boat, before it goes into the inside the boat.
Yeah.
Everything gets pressure tested, logged, video gets made, so that there is a backup, that
Yeah.
the
It
pressure
has
test
been
was
done.
done.
Yeah.
So-
Right. Yeah, because once if it's
Once
leaking
you-
under there.
if it's leaking under there, there's no way to get to it again.
So all the glass on a boat is mineral glass. It's not acrylic. It's much less expansion and contraction, which means that your bond to the boat is much more secure and not prone for, it's not going to leak.
Yeah.
And obviously the glass can't stretch.
And it doesn't age like the acrylic where
It
gets
doesn't age,
foggy
yeah.
or whatever.
I mean, this should last the boat's lifetime
Right.
if you don't damage it.
Now, there's one thing that certain catamarans have is that over time they leak around the edges.
Exactly.
And this
And
will mitigate that.
Yeah, because the contraction, as I said, the contraction and expansion of glass is minimal compared to acrylic.
Right.
And especially because we've got such big saloon windows.
Yeah.
On that expand, you will get up to 3/4, half an inch of expansion and contraction.
You were using acrylic. Yeah. That's a lot. So eventually that's going to go for sure.
That's exactly it. You put so much strain on the bond.
Yeah.
With that, it shrinks in the morning.
Yeah.
Or during the night, during the day when it gets hot, it expands again. Same thing. So it happens twice a
Eventually
day.
the glue goes and that's it.
Glue goes.
Yeah. Excellent. That's important to know. Yeah. And there's a layer of UV protection in between, right?
Yeah. So if you look at the glass, you'll see it's got a layer of PVB in between. So that's what gives you the UV protection. But also, if you do damage the glass, with toughened glass, you will have a hole in your boat. But with toughened or with laminated glass, it will crack.
Yeah.
But the
it won't
glass
completely
is
break.
still intact.
Yeah. That's great.
This chap here is our upholsterer. This is our upholstery department. And Franklin has almost 40 years experience.
44 years.
44
Franklin.
years experience
Nice to meet you, Franklin.
Good day to you, sir.
in boat building upholstery.
Yes.
He does all my finer stitching.
As you can have a look, Carol,
He does all my finer stitching.
and have a look. The reason why we do it this way is we differ from the other companies. We are very unique with our design. Normally they use a one flap, they use one like this, one single one, and then it will show this. But it will show the bottom stitching like this, you see this one?
Yeah.
So if you have one. But now we do it with two, it gives you a smoother finish. As you can see, so you see it? It's round, it's finished.
round.
And then we give it we call it a saddle stitch from the side right around. So as a window stand like this in the cabins,
Right.
differ as in a saloon too. So our stitching we do is very unique on it. And then as we come to the headliners, this is how we do it. We use a special gem can glue that's made for this. It's been tested and we're using it now for 20 years. We glue it down like this, and then after we roll it, we've got a roller that we roll it, and then we come and we staple it down. We use stainless steel staples to protect it. And when we finish, this is a new system we're using for our headliners. It clips on like this. It's protecting like that, and she clips it, and it gives you a finished product like this.
Right.
So that's how we do our saloon, the owl we call it.
Yeah.
We do both of them like that.
That's great.
Yes. So the headline will be sitting like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you see throughout
yes.
the boat.
And this is for the lights, which goes up like that. So the saloon, it will look like this. But that's how we do it at the bottom. Give a star.
Oh, okay.
We call it the star that goes around.
So you don't get any wrinkles.
That's good. And then we staple it as well, that it doesn't release. And then we resin coat the panels.
Okay.
All our panels we go to resin coated.
Okay.
It protects it for the mist on the sea.
Right.
That's what we implemented in Phoenix Marine.
Well, thank you very much, Franklin.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate that.
See?
Shows a lot of quality.
Yes, we use the suede. It's imported suede. The suede is used on the headboards.
It's all on the inserts.
Oh, okay.
on the
Yeah.
Inserts and headboards.
And then we give it a stitch like this. We call it saddle. The special stitch that we do on it. It differs from the others.
No, I see. Yes.
Yeah. You see how it's done?
Double.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it looks like this at the back.
That's great.
So when it goes on, it looks like this. The brown.
Yeah.
The saddle stitch.
Solid.
Solid. And it gives the cabin a nice look.
Yeah.
And especially the saloon, the headboards,
Right.
the pelmets.
Yeah.
We even do the same.
Excellent. Thank you.
Pleasure,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, so we've got our own 3D printers as well. So all little intricate parts that we can actually 3D print it. So this gives you a lot of freedom, you know, for design and getting really small, complicated parts onto the boat.
Great.
We've just printed the water catcher
Oh,
adapter,
okay.
and this is something that you can't do without 3D printing.
Right. And again, all in-house.
All in house,
Yeah.
and as well in the showers, we've got the little pull throughs for the shower hose.
Right.
Same.
Same.
All those other things gets printed.
It's nice. Okay, that is the end of our tour here at Phoenix Marine. An amazing tour, guys, and it shows a lot of quality. I really appreciate it. And thanks from the viewers as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
you very much.
Well, that's it for this episode, which was a very detailed factory tour of where the Exquisite X5 is built. I know there was a lot there, but hey, if you're interested in a catamaran, you're probably going to watch this video more than once. Go back and answer some of those questions you had in your head about this builder versus a different builder. If you found it informative, show the channel some love by giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those upcoming videos where we're actually going to be sailing this boat across the South Atlantic. And until next time, this is Craig signing off, wishing you safe cruising, and ciao for now.